Nikolai Adams, filmizon.com, here with Damon Johnson. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks
Black
for
Star
having me.
Writers.
Yes, sir.
So the first thought I had is you're a songwriter as well, and you write for yourself. You've written for Brother Kane. You've written for Alice Cooper. You've written for the Black Star Writers. Does your mindset change at all if you're writing with a band that has history compared to if you're writing for yourself or for your own band?
Well, what a great question. I just think that anytime I'm in a collaborative setting with whoever, if it's my own band, Ricky and I writing, or if it's writing with Alice Cooper, I definitely want to try to get into the headspace of the person that's going to sing the song. When I first started writing songs, I was thinking strictly as a guitar player. So it was all riffs and chord progressions and tempos and things like that. But as I became a singer myself and started writing lyrically, it's just a totally different priority. That's the word I'm looking for. So when I wrote with Alice, we did an album together back in 2005 called Dirty Diamonds, and I had just joined the band, so I was so elated that I would even get an opportunity to be in that creative setting with this guy that I had admired my whole youth. So to see him turn into Alice Cooper songwriter was incredible. But the good news is that none of it's a magic trick, you know. You just the storyline, you want to have something to say, and someone like Coop is obviously very experienced at saying it well. So you kind of defer to him. It definitely helps, I think, to know some of the history of the band, you know, if you're working with someone like that. But then, you know, I've been lucky to get a couple of cuts. For instance, Stevie Nicks recorded one of my songs. It was a totally different approach because I was writing a song for myself. She just happened to hear the demo of it and fell in love with it. And her manager called and said, Stevie wants to record your song. Would that be okay? I was like, I think
I think we're gonna have to cut in. So we've moved location. The sound check interrupted us.
Thank you, Saxon.
But you were talking about Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, in the case of Stevie Nicks and Carlos Santana, I had co-writes on songs on each of their records, and they were just looking for material. They were looking for songs that they thought would be a good fit with the body of work that they were already creating. So, you know, again, no magic trick there. We just had written a couple of good songs, and they just happened to have found their way into the right hands. So, at the end of the day, you know, for me, Nick, I just love to write. I just love to write, and it doesn't matter the genre, particularly if I'm in the room with someone else that I can learn from, that can, you know, elevate whatever skills I bring to the table. That's what it's always been for me. I always feel like I'm the least talented guy in the room, so I just feed off the energy of the guys or the girls around me and try to write something good.
So then let's speak of the influences growing up. What was a band or an artist that really kind of sparked your creativity as a young child or teenager growing up?
Yeah, man. You know, when I was really young and first started to play guitar, it was a lot of the usual suspects: Kiss, Leonard Skinner, Bad Company. You know, Led Zeppelin for sure. I didn't go on a major Beatles kick until I was a little older, actually. But as a lot of people know, huge influence for me was Thin Lizzy. I had all the albums. I studied the lyrics. I studied all the guitar parts. They had so many great players in that band.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy
that now we're here, right?
Fate and time and happenstance would bring me to an opportunity to actually join Thin Lizzy and be a part of that band. And then Thin Lizzy has evolved into Black Star Writers.
And so then working with Scott Gorham, how is that, you know, because it's a different style of guitar compared to a lot of bands, right? It's almost like two solo guitarists too.
Yeah, you know, Thin Lizzy definitely kind of is in the history books for their harmony guitar sound. Not that it hadn't been done before, but I don't know that too many other bands had done it to the level of specialness that Thin Lizzy had. So for me to find myself in a creative setting with Scott, Ricky Warwick, and all three of us writing actual songs together, and then coming to that point, making the album where it's like, all right, we need some of that guitar stuff. And there's Scott, and he goes, oh, what about this, Dave? And I go, that sounds just like Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy. You know, I get excited, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
So more of a, just to kind of get where your mind is, if you could travel back in time and see one live performance from any band, what would you choose?
Wow. Well, you know what, man, so many of my older musician friends still talk about seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and I think my mom was pregnant with me when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, so I missed it.
Yeah.
That moment in time, you know, now that I've read the history of it and had so many conversations with guys that did see it, it was a seismic shift worldwide that can never be duplicated. You know, it was a one-time event, and I think I wish I could have experienced that, because, you know, with everything else going on in the world at the time, and then all of a sudden here's these 4 guys from Liverpool on the black and white TV on the Ed Sullivan Show, bringing this energy and this sound that had never been done before. Wow, I bet that was a magical thing. Yeah.
That would be one of the big ones.
Yeah, for sure.
And Full Shine On, Brother Kane, used in the famous Halloween franchise. What does that mean something to you? Is that just business? What
No, it really meant a lot to me. I'm not like a horror film junkie, but I definitely was a fan of the Halloween series. You know, I had seen, I guess, 3 or 4 of the installments up to that point. And it was a special day, you know, to get a phone call from our management saying, hey, the music supervisor for Halloween 6 loves Full Shine On. They want to know if you would be all right if they use the song in their movie. I'm like, you're asking me permission? It's like, just use it. So it's been really fulfilling, Nick, because everywhere I go, man, I still have people mention that song was in that movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was in 1995. That was special.
And to change it up from music a little bit, you love your golf. And you've golfed along with Alice Cooper.
Probably over 300 rounds, no exaggeration.
Have you ever beat him?
You know what? There were a couple times that I had the better score at the end of the day, but I never really talk about it because it's not like he shot a 75 and I shot a 73.
Yeah.
It was, he didn't have really his best day, and I shot a 78. You know what I mean?
Nice, yeah.
And he was just amazing, so congratulatory, and you know, he was happy for me because he knew that, you know, I was really trying to get better.
Yeah.
I love Saxon.
So then,
they are sound checking. I was wrong.
So then take us into this type of world. Then you're touring with Judas Priest, you're touring with Saxon. Is there a camaraderie, or because it's so much business oriented, do you not have time to really hang around? It's all business.
Total camaraderie all the way around. Hands down, this has been one of my favorite tours ever. The Judas Priest guys have been like family to us for quite some time. Ricky has decades of history with various members of Judas Priest Road. Like they toured together when Ricky was just a kid. The Thin Lizzy legacy obviously helps, but Rob Halford, Glenn Tipton, they've been very supportive of Black Star Riders. I think a lot of people respected the fact that we didn't put out a record and call it Thin Lizzy. Change the name, just to see what would happen. And we're pulling it off. We're not like on this kind of trajectory, but we're at least, we're making an impact. So Tombstone is such a dude flick on every level. And I remember this guy that used to work on our road crew, Brother Kane. He was the one that told me about it, and we fancied ourselves to be kind of pirates anyway. So when this movie came out, and you've got Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp, and Val Kilmer's performance as Doc Holliday in that flick.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy should have been at least nominated for an Academy Award. He was stunning, his portrayal of Doc Holliday. The rest of the cast, you know, you had Sam Elliott and Bill Paxton, one of the brothers, Morgan and Virgil. Powers Booth was in it.
We just passed away, sadly.
Yeah, man, what an incredible actor. Even Billy Bob Thornton had a tiny part in the beginning. But the storyline, you know, I was always kind of into that whole Western history, and you know, they bend some of the facts in the movie to make it, you know, theater
fit a script.
Yeah, exactly. But I just thought the cast was great, and I thought it was well written, and it's a film I've easily seen it 30 times. Not ironically, it played a tiny role in us coming up with the name Black Star Rider.
Oh, really?
Ricky and I, when we were touring in Thin Lizzy, we were talking about movies we loved, and all of us, you know, loved Tombstone. So somewhere around the time we had decided to start this new band, Ricky and I talked about Tombstone, and he kind of did the David Bowie thing of where you just kind of put a bunch of words on a sheet of paper and cut them up and mix them together and put them in a weird order. So, you know, there was a gang of cowboys in the movie. You know, and they're talking about all the various outlaws in different locations, like where Wyatt Earp was a marshal in Prescott, or, you know, back in Kansas City, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It just kind of lends itself to this gang mentality. So when Ricky called, he said, "Hey man, what do you think about Black Star Riders?" It just felt like Tombstone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in. I'm all in. That's great. So the capper of cappers, when you hear us walk on stage tonight, the intro music that we intend to use for the rest of our career is the theme song to Tombstone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's amazing.
No, it's awesome. I love it.
Now, usually I would end it here, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. I want to change it up. So, throw out a few bands, be it older bands that maybe some younger people haven't heard of, or some newer bands in rock music now that you think people should kind of keep an ear out for, or should go out and find.
Oh wow, man! What another great question. You know, this band Royal Blood has made some noise the last few years, so I don't think that's new information to anybody that pays attention to rock. But I love those guys. I love the simplicity of just the drums and the bass and what they've been able to do with it. But the songs are killer. The tempos are sexy. I feel like they're doing something cool right now. We've got some friends in a great band. They're out of Bristol, England, called Tax the Heat. And Tax the Heat just released their second full-length album. And it borders almost on smart pop, but it's rock.
Okay.
They love Aerosmith. They love The Faces, they love Humble Pie, and that kind of stuff as well. So definitely check out Tax the Heat. I'm a big fan of some singer-songwriters. I probably listen to them on the whole much more than I do just bands. There's an incredible artist from my home state of Alabama, Jason Isbell. I don't know if Jason has made some noise yet in Canada. I'm certain that he has to singer-songwriter field. There's an amazing record that Brandy Carlisle just put out. She's from the Northwest, I think near Portland or Seattle, somewhere there. And I can't get it out of my Apple Music. I love it. She's got an incredible voice and great storytelling. And you know, and I try not to go too many days, you know, without listening to some Thin Lizzy. Any day.
Yeah.
Any day is a good day for Thin Lizzy.
I agree completely. Well, I appreciate this so much. Thank you.
Hey Nick, I'm honored to be a part of your series of music dudes and dudettes talking about movies that they love. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.